Hey guys, what's up? It's awesomehappyjace and welcome back to more videos. So I was going to make a video for Wednesdays and I like to upload every Wednesday or Sunday whenever I can. So I decided I was going to upload today, and I haven't made an LGBTQ plus video in like a really long time, and I was asking on Twitter like if anybody wanted to see any specific ones, but everyone was just like, whatever, it's fine, whatever one you want to make. And I'm just like, okay, fine, I'll make whatever I want to make. So there's a lot of topics I want to talk about, but I'm just going to talk about them like in different videos. In today's video, I'm going to talk about names, like just names in general. So as you guys know, I'm probably going to say it like all the time, I am transgender, so I kind of thought I would explain like my name and stuff like that. So I know I've talked about it before in another video about my name and stuff like that, and then I did make a coming out video as well a few videos back as well. If you guys want to look at that as well, it was really cool, and a bunch of other LGBTQ plus videos that I've made, so go check those out. So I was going to talk a little bit about my name. I went through like a lot of name changes, and just recently I went through another name change, and I just stuck with one name that I was really into. So as you guys know, I was going by Nathan Mowgli Padron, and then for a little bit I changed it to August Mowgli Padron. And I've never changed my like the middle name. I never changed Mowgli ever. Like I've always kept Mowgli. It was kind of like a different, like, you know, it was different. Like it used to be Sam Morales Padron, and it used to be Jace Hunter Padron, you know. But then now it kind of just changed when I was like Mowgli. So it was always like, so for a while I was always constantly changing my first name, but I wasn't changing my middle name, which was Mowgli. So I was never changing it. Just FYI, I never permanently changed my name in the papers and stuff like that. It's still my birth name, but it's just like, I mean, like I'm still trying to adapt to like what name I want to choose. So I kind of decided to just permanently just change it to Mowgli. So I don't know, maybe I could change it again now. I don't think so. So I'm thinking to just change it just to Mowgli. So it's probably going to be Mowgli Torres Padron. So it'd be Mowgli, and then it would be Torres, which is my biological last name, and then my Padron, which is my actual last name. And then so I decided to change it to that. I know you guys probably saw it a little like places. You guys probably saw it on Instagram or on my bio of the channel, and you probably saw it. It says Mowgli Torres Padron, because I've always went by Mowgli. I never went by my first name. It was always like, people ask me, oh, what's your name? I'm always like, oh, it's Mowgli. You know, it's like I never went by my first name. It was always Mowgli. So that's the always thing I always tell people. I'm like, oh, it's Mowgli, or you can call me Jace from awesomehappyjace, or you can just call me whatever boy name, as long as it's a boy name. You can call me that. I don't care, because I really like nicknames. So, you know, I remember telling my cousin that. I was like, you can call me any nickname. So he decided to call me Tristan Elton. So I was like, that's pretty cool. So I'm going to go by Tristan Elton. So that's what he kind of called me. So he was like, you know, that was kind of like my nickname. I know at one point I wanted to change my name to that because I got really addicted to that. But then I was like, no, I don't like it. So I just always, I know I've been changing my name a lot, but I just always been stuck with Mowgli no matter what I've done. I just always stuck with Mowgli no matter how many times I've changed my first name. I've always stuck with Mowgli. So now I think I'm just going to like move that up, and it's just going to be Mowgli Torres Padron. So it's just going to be that. So, and then I know a lot of people are like kind of like conflicted because they're like, oh, do we call you Jace or Mowgli? Honestly, I don't care. Jace is my YouTube name, so that's pretty, you know, that's like Jace. So let me tell you how I got Jace to begin with. So I got Jace because, well, for one, I like it because it's kind of like a short name for Jason, so Jace, Jason. And then two, also because that's my little cousin's name. I really like his name. His name is Jace. So I'm sure you guys seen him in vlogs, but his name is Jace, and he's really awesome. And I named this channel after Jace because I just really like Jace. But when I named this channel Jace, that's when I was going by Jace. So I was actually going by Jace Hunter. And so then I was like, okay, so that's when I was trying to choose a name for this channel, and I was still going by Jace Hunter. So I was kind of like, okay, what am I gonna call this channel? And that's when I just came with awesomehappyjace. And then but then I started going through a lot of name changes. I was going with Sam, I was going with Tristan Elton, I was going with Mowgli, August, Hunter. I was going through all these different names, and then I just stuck with one. And then so that's when I was kind of going through that. So then I was like, okay, so Jace will just be my channel name, and then whatever, you know, my name is. So also, I've really gotten attached to Mowgli the Mischief. That's also my Twitter name. It's just Mowgli the Mischief. So it's kind of just like I'm mischievous, you know. So that kind of just, you know, yeah. So let me just explain to you guys how my name is and stuff like that. So I got Awesome Happy Jace because so I looked up on a YouTube name generator and I was like, okay, so I just put in whatever, and then Awesome and Happy popped up, and then a bunch of other names, and I was like, okay, I really like Awesome and I really like Happy, and I'm gonna put those together. And then I was like, okay, what am I gonna do? And then I know that by then I was going by Jace Hunter, and I was like, okay, maybe I'll just put Jace in the name, and I just slapped them all together, and that's what created Awesome Happy Jace. So a lot of people get that confused because every time I say Awesome Happy Jace, they're just like, what's a Jace? And like, Jace is like my name on YouTube, and they're like, oh, okay, I get it. So if you guys are always conflicted of what name to call me, you guys can always just call me Mowgli, Jace, or you can just call me any YouTube name, I mean, any boy name you could think of. It could be Mark, Jack, Tanner, Connor, I don't care, 11, I don't know, any name you could think of. I really don't care. I like nicknames, but as long as it's a boy name, then I don't really care. So if you guys think of like, oh, you look like this name to me, then I'll be like, okay, cool, they can call me that if you want. I don't really care, so whatever floats your boat. And how I got Mowgli the Mischief is I really like the name Mowgli because it reminds me of the Jungle Book, and I really like the Jungle Book because I see myself as a man cub, and how I identify as a man cub is, for one, I'm transgender, so I'm not a full man, I'm a man cub, so I'm half a man because I identify as a man, but yet my body is not a man, so therefore I'm a man cub. Also, I identify as a man cub because I see myself as an underdog, and I kind of feel like in the Jungle Book, Mowgli was kind of like determined as like the underdog because some people were like, you belong in the jungle, and some people were like, you don't belong in the jungle, you know? So it's like kind of with me how people are like, oh, you belong at YouTube, you don't belong in YouTube. It's like get out of here, and it's like, you know, and then, you know, on my journey of trying to find my dream job and trying to get YouTube to work, I kind of feel like the underdog, like I'm the man cub of the group, like, you know. So that's kind of how I feel. So I'm kind of like the man cub. So I've always that's how I was attached to Mowgli so much, and so I've never changed that name. I've always kept it Mowgli, but I just always changed my first name. So I think just recently I kind of realized that I was always telling people my name was Mowgli, so I decided to just keep it that way. So, and I really like Mowgli the Mischief. So how I got the name Mowgli the Mischief was because, well, like I said, how I got Mowgli. Mischievous is kind of the same thing with underdog, because it's kind of like how I identified it as is like, well, for one, I sometimes do little mischievous things here and there, like, you know, just whatever, I do little mischievous things here and there because I take risks. So that's what kind of it is. Like, mischievous means like taking risks to get what you love, you know, like to fight for what you love, and that's kind of how I identify as mischievous. So, you know, like when I want to work at my dream job, I ask them if I can get there, I apply, and I just do the other stuff, you know. So it's kind of like, I feel like that's kind of mischievous in a way. So I'm kind of like, you know, trying to fight for what I love. So I'm like, okay, I'm being mischievous, and then I have mischievous ways as well, you know. I kind of take really weird risks and stuff like that. So that's kind of how I got Mowgli the Mischief. So that's basically my name, Awesome Happy Jace and Mowgli the Mischief. So you guys can call me whatever. Don't be so conflicted. Don't be like, oh, what do you want to be called? I'm like, just call me whatever. I don't care. I know some of my friends call me Jace, some of my friends call me Mowgli, and I really don't care. Both of them are equally just as awesome, and I love them very much. So also, I kind of want to give some advice to you guys who are trying to find names for you guys, whether you're transitioning to a woman or you're transitioning to a man. If you're having trouble figuring out a name, honestly, I know I've been through this because I've been changing my first name so many times, and it's been like, and then finally I just settled down to Mowgli because, well, like I said, Mowgli means a lot to me, and Jace is just my YouTube channel name. It just is, so I don't really care. But just to find your first name, your name for you, it's okay if you go through a million names. I went through a million names and I couldn't settle down on one, and I'm pretty sure I know my friends a lot because they're probably like, can you just settle down on one name? I'm like, I can't, I love all these names. And then finally, you know, it takes a while. It's okay if you go through a million names, you know? It's like there's a lot of names out there, and I know I wanted to choose a name that was really unique. For me, I wanted to choose a name that, like, it was rare for anybody else to have. Like, it was so rare. And I know it's rare for people to have the name Mowgli. I know that because every time I tell people my name is Mowgli, they're like, what? I never heard of that name. Or they're like, oh, is it from the Jungle Book? I'm like, yeah. So, you know, it's like, also for Mowgli, which is also short for Mowgli, also Momo is short for Mowgli. So if you want to call me Momo, that's also pretty cute. Yeah, kawaii, I don't know. But if you ever guys are struggling trying to figure out a name, there's always different ways to figure out a name. You could use name generators. If your parents are pretty supportive, you can always ask them, oh, what would you call me if I was that gender? And be like, oh, I would call you this. Or go through like your favorite movies, your favorite TV shows, your favorite YouTubers, and whatever gave you an impact in your life, maybe choose their name, you know? It's like, you know, it could be anything. Like if you like Peter Pan, you could be like, it made a big impact on you not to grow up, then name yourself Peter. If you like Markiplier did a good impact on you, then name yourself Mark, you know? It's like, just figure out, I mean, people have different names of figuring out their own name. Don't stress too much about it. I know for me it was really hard because it was like I said, I wanted to choose a name that wasn't common, and I also wanted to choose a name that wasn't gender neutral, so then some people would just, because I know I had that where a lot of people were like, oh, like, in a girl way, and I'm like, no, oh, like, you know, so it was kind of hard, so I just stuck with Mowgli, and it means the world to me, so I really love that name. It kind of just identifies the situation that I'm going through and stuff like that, of how I'm trying to, like, go through different stuff. So I think that's all I have to say for the topic. If you guys have any more questions or any other things, ways I can help, let me know in the comments below. Also, if you guys want me to like have any other topics for LGBTQ+, let me know in the comments below. I'll be happy to talk about them because I know I have a lot of topics to talk about them. I've been wanting to get more engaged in talking about LGBTQ+ since I am transgender, and I kind of just want to put my opinion out there, and I also want to learn from others, like what other people are going through situations, and like, you know, like we want to help each other out, you know. So let me know. So yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Well, I'll see you guys in my vlog because my vlog comes out Sunday. So yeah, so cool. I love you guys very much, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Okay, mwah, goodbye.